much was made about Florida State missing the college football playoff. They were perfect in the ACC, and still, it wasn't good enough for the committee. The offense was explosive, but their defense is a large part of what helped them go undefeated. We have talked on other members of this defense, including Renardo Green and Jared Verse, but today we're going to be talking about defensive tackle Braden Fiske. Fisk is a guy who absolutely dominated in 2023 and had a very good week at the Senior Bowl. He's been slowly rising up draft boards, and today we're going to be talking about him. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment on this video and let me know which players you guys would like to see in the upcoming episode. But without further ado, let's get into it. Braden Fiske started his collegiate career with Western Michigan. He was very productive for the Broncos and had a really solid year in 2022. He finished with 35 hurries, 5 hits, and 8 sacks on the year for Western Michigan, but ultimately decided to spend his last year of eligibility at Florida State. Once again, Fiske was very productive. Fiske finished the year with 19 hurries, 3 hits, and 6 sacks on the year for the Noles, and is a guy who has been moving up draft boards after an explosive Senior Bowl, and I think he could be a nice sleeper down the board in this draft class. Fiske is a really solid athlete from the interior. He has an elite first step off the line of scrimmage, and he plays super low and has a low center of gravity. Fiske is a guy who is explosive and is extremely powerful as a player. He has the ability to just run guys over at times, and he plays with an extremely high motor. His first step is electric, and I love his upside. Fiske as a pass rusher has shown the ability to be very solid as well. It is hard for interior guys to generate a ton of pressure, but Fiske seemed to be consistently in the backfield, making life more difficult for the quarterback. He has immense upper body strength and had some power rushes that were very hard for defenders to stop. Fiske also was a good run defender. He penetrated the gaps quickly, and he showed the ability to make plays as both a pass rusher and a run defender. Athletically, he has a ton to offer, and I think he has a really high ceiling in this class. Fiske is a tad bit undersized. He is 6'3", 295 pounds, and he has shorter arms. I'm not too worried about his size because he plays so powerfully, but it is something that I noticed and something that I think we should be aware of. His arms aren't the longest, and at 295, he may need to bulk up just a little bit. Another area I am a bit worried about is Fiske's balance. He plays so aggressively at times, and it leads to him playing out of control and just completely losing his balance altogether. I would like him to play a little bit more upright. I'd like to see that improve from him. Lastly, I think Fiske needs to develop some more moves as a pass rusher. He has some elite upside and is super athletic, but he gets reliant on his athleticism far too often, and I would like to see him develop a swim or a spin move. His hand placement is inconsistent, and I think it could help that if he develops some moves, and it could help him get into the backfield and be more disruptive. His hand usage is inconsistent, and I'd like to see that improve. Braden Fiske is a supremely good athlete, but he does have some concerns. I think after a strong showing at the Senior Bowl, he has put himself on more and more teams' radars. He is my number 8 defensive tackle in this class. There's so many elite interior players, and I think Fiske is a really great one. He is my number 88 overall player in the draft. I think Braden Fiske would work best as an interior player in a 4-3 scheme. He could play a rush tackle, and I think this could be his best spot. He isn't big enough to be that nose run stuffer in the 4-3, but he has some elite upside as a pass rusher. So that is where I think an NFL team should play him. My comparison for Braden Fiske is San Francisco 49ers defensive tackle Arik Armstead. Now I know everyone's going to be like, how could you compare a 6'3 guy to a 6'7 guy? And the height is the biggest difference between the two. But they both play that 4-3 defensive tackle role perfectly. They both are solid pass rushers and really solid run defenders as well. They both show the upside to do a little bit of everything on the field. Hand usage is inconsistent for both, and they both aren't the biggest guys in the world on the interior. I know Eric Armstead is 6'7", but I see a lot of similarities between him and Braden Fiske, so that is my comparison. Braden Fiske can do both the pass rush and can defend the run. I am super thrilled to see how he tests at the combine, but he is a very fun prospect. Ultimately, I believe that Braden Fiske will be a third round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.